14 Psychological Things That Make You Less Attractive to Women. Leave a like on the video, my love, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe to receive new advice. Do this to help the channel continue to grow. Leaving a like is all I ask as a gift. There are some things we cannot control when it comes to dating, like if someone has feelings for us or not. However, there are ways that we actually can influence someone's interest in us. Are you looking for ways to appear more attractive to the ladies? Some ways to influence someone's interest in us include being confident, having a positive attitude, and showing genuine interest in the other person. Additionally, taking care of yourself by dressing well and maintaining good hygiene can also make a difference. But don't worry, we've got some tips for you to try, including some psychological tricks to avoid. Like and subscribe. Distance. In 1992, two psychologists named Moreland and Beach became interested in the connection between how often you see someone and how attractive you find them. They conducted a small social study to find the answers by enrolling 4 women in a large psychology class. Students in the class were asked to rate how attractive they thought each of these women were at the end of that specified semester. The psychologists discovered that women were rated as less attractive by other students the fewer classes they attended. Those who didn't regularly attend classes were even forgotten about by some of the other students. So, when you fall in love with someone in the future, keep this study in mind. The more attractive you are to them over time, the more you should make your presence and appearance known to them. Attitude. Do good guys actually come in last? In a 2014 Chinese study, men and women were asked to look at pictures of other people with neutral expressions. The Chinese characters for decent and honest were written alongside some of these pictures. The Chinese words for evil and mean were added to others, and some had no supporting information. When people were characterized as evil and mean, participants found them to be the least attractive. This suggests that the perception of a person's character can significantly impact their level of attractiveness, and that cultural values, such as those represented by the Chinese characters, may play a role in this perception. Mystery. The researchers came to the conclusion that the more women thought about mysterious men, the more intrigued they were by them. Women are typically drawn to mysteries. Don't get me wrong, I'm not referring to a long-term relationship here, but a little mystery does wonders for piquing a woman's interest. The study suggests that men who reveal too much about themselves too soon may not be as attractive to women. Therefore, maintaining a bit of mystery can be a useful strategy for men who want to capture a woman's attention. Body language. Researchers created profiles for men and women on a GPS-based dating site as part of one experiment. One set of profiles featured the subjects in poses that suggested contraction, such as crossed arms or hunched shoulders. The same individuals were depicted in the other set of profiles in expansive poses, such as raising their arms in a V shape or extending their hands to grasp something. According to the findings, participants were more inclined to select expansively posed individuals than contractively posed individuals as potential dates. Additionally, men who appeared in contractive poses seemed to be particularly at a disadvantage. Space. Students were asked to list people they liked and didn't like. The researchers discovered that the students preferred those with whom they frequently interacted in person. However, they also found that the students' least favorite individuals were those they were forced to interact with. People have free will. As much as we love to socialize, our personal space should never be at risk during these moments of social interaction. To put it another way, be careful not to irritate your crush by spending too much time with them. It is important to respect others' boundaries and understand that not everyone wants to socialize all the time. It's crucial to strike a balance between spending time with people we love and giving them the space they need. Stress. In a 2013 study, scientists from Finland, South Africa, the UK, Latvia, and Estonia discovered that heterosexual men in Latvia thought less highly of Latvian women who had high cortisol levels. Even though only the researchers were aware of the women's actual cortisol levels, it appeared to impact how attractive the women were viewed by the men. According to the researchers, it's possible that low cortisol levels and lower stress levels signify fertility and good health. When we are stressed, our body can show that stress in physical ways. Not only does it stunt your sleep, but it can also make your skin appear less colorful and more washed out. Effort. A study on the misattribution of arousal, or when people incorrectly infer what is causing their feelings, was conducted by 2 psychologists in Vancouver, Canada. A sexy female research assistant administered questionnaires to male participants. She posed the question to the first group while they were dangling precariously from a suspended bridge. She questioned the second group while standing on a narrow, low bridge. Because of the bridge, those who were on it felt more excitement, were more attracted to the research assistant, and were more likely to want to call her later. So, don't just go for Starbucks, McDonald's, or Pizza Hut on your next date. That would be pretty dull. Laugh. Everyone loves to laugh, right? A life without laughter would be very, very boring, like watching paint dry. According to a 2009 study conducted by academics at the University of California in San Diego, not being funny and even having a mediocre sense of humor made a person appear less attractive than they actually were. This study also discovered that gender had no bearing on the matter. Both men and women found people with poor senses of humor to be unattractive. In a 2015 study, men meeting women for the first time found that they were more attracted to them the more they laughed at each other's jokes or, better yet, laughed together. Interest. Participants were paired up at random with psychologists Kurta and Miller for an experiment. One of the partners was led to believe that the other either liked them or didn't. The nicer people were those who believed they were liked, and their partners ultimately liked them more. The researchers concluded that so-called reciprocal liking is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If your partner believes you like them, they'll be more considerate of you, which in turn improves the quality of your relationship. The converse is also true. If they believe you disapprove of them, they will act more cruelly, harming the relationship. It has been demonstrated that attraction increases in a light environment as opposed to one that is bitter and hateful. This is because showing interest and being nicer to others ensures that they are nicer to you as well. I can't speak for everyone, but it almost sounds like grandma is always right. Treat people how you want to be treated. Laziness. Researchers from the University of Wisconsin found that the perception of attractiveness can be correlated with qualities like helpfulness. In a series of experiments published in 2004, students in a 6-week archaeology course were asked to rate one another on various personality traits as well as physical attractiveness. In one experiment, at the start and conclusion of the course, they did this. When researchers analyzed the data, they discovered that even students who had been rated average at the start of the course were rated less attractive than average later on if their peers perceived them as being lazy, uncooperative, or not hardworking. Smell. According to science, people look for partners who are genetically similar to them but not too different, and we occasionally base these decisions on body odor. For instance, in a 2006 study directed by researchers at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, heterosexual couples responded to questions about how much they enjoyed their partner and how many other people they had sex with while dating. Meanwhile, the scientists collected DNA from the participants' mouths and tested it in a lab, comparing their major histocompatibility complexes, which are immune system genes. The more similar a couple's MHCs were, the less attracted the participants were to their partners, and the more likely it was that they had engaged in extramarital sex. Liar, liar. Avoid lying if you want to appear more attractive. According to research, lying turns both men and women off significantly. In a 2006 study conducted by the University of Western Ontario, participants read descriptions of men and women who were either intelligent or not, dependent or independent, honest or dishonest. Following that, participants evaluated the characters they had read about based on a variety of factors, such as how much they liked them and how attractive they were. As it turned out, the only quality to have a significant impact on the assessment of attractiveness and likability was honesty. Excessive. Everyone loves to let their hair down and blow off some steam every now and then. Life can be very stressful, so we all need an outlet to have fun and enjoy the little things. In a 2016 study, more than 200 heterosexual young women from Belgium examined pictures and biographies of young men. When the men were being considered for a long-term relationship, the results showed that those who smoked frequently were thought to be less attractive than non-smokers and occasional smokers. When considering individuals for both short and long-term relationships, occasional drinkers were found to be more attractive than non-drinkers and frequent drinkers. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or something else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and share it later. Let's continue. Make girls melt. Just 2% of men use these 14 seductive gestures women can't resist. Do you think there are some things that you can do to catch a woman's eye but you're a little reluctant to try them in case you look a little bit silly? Well, there are a number of small gestures and mannerisms you can incorporate into your daily life to actually appear more attractive and sexy to a woman, and keep her thinking about you all day long, even when you are not around her. Now, don't worry if you don't know where to start, because of course, I've got you covered. Here's a list of things for you to try. Like and subscribe. Important information. It's important to understand that for the vast majority of women, there needs to be an emotional connection established before they can think of you in a sexual way that goes beyond a one-night stand. This emotional connection can be built through shared experiences, open communication, and a genuine interest in her thoughts and feelings. It's not just about physical attraction but also about building a deeper connection. Women tend to create emotional bonds with people they find attractive, so the sooner you understand and accept this, the easier it will be for you to introduce these small gestures into your relationship. Get to know her. Getting to know a girl better is the first step in trying to seduce her. If you're too full-on, she might feel threatened or believe that you are too easy to get. If she's a passing acquaintance or friend, strike up a conversation to learn more about her. Find common interests and try to build a connection. Show a genuine interest in what she has to say and make her feel comfortable around you. Be cordial and friendly when you text her occasionally. Don't approach her straight away, but also don't act like a doormat. Be likable. Knowing how to seduce a woman involves several stages, one of which is learning to be likable. At this point, you can actually tell if she's becoming more receptive to you or pulling away. Try to learn more about her and her interests as you converse with her. Occasionally try to establish a connection by sending her texts or having conversations with her as often as you can. Women need to feel that connection in order to move on to the emotional side of things. If the things you say seem to be having an effect, she will look forward to your chats and texts and will definitely make an effort to stay in touch with you. Hold off. Many men commit this error. It's very cringy. Sometimes they express their admiration or feelings for the girl too soon. You obviously like her, and that's okay. She's already aware of that, isn't she? She has a feeling that you like her, but she needs confirmation from you to make sure she's right. So, keep your cool and hold off from telling her you have feelings. Some women have a tendency to want what they can't have, and if she's unsure if you want her, it actually makes her want you more. Crazy, isn't it? She will become more addicted to you because of her excitement and curiosity. To successfully seduce a woman, you must build that suspense. If you reveal your feelings too soon, well buddy, you will fail miserably. Mystery. This is the time to become enigmatic and leave her wondering what's on your mind. Be flirtatious and impure whenever you talk to her or text her at night. But if you run into her during the day, never bring up the sexy texts unless she brings it up herself first. Avoid flirting or discussing the texts when you are around other friends. But when it's just the two of you, flirt with her. You'll be persuaded that there is already a secret developing between the two of you if you do this. And who doesn't enjoy a little light-hearted flirtatious covert drama in their lives, right? Dress. First impressions are everything. She won't be impressed by you if you can't even be bothered to get out of your smelly old sneakers and sweatpants. Even though you don't have to dress up for your date, putting on a nice shirt and some polished shoes will show her that you care enough to go the extra mile. Remember that the way you present yourself can say a lot about your personality and your personal values. Taking the time to dress nicely can also boost your confidence and make you feel more attractive. Personal space. Try to spend some time alone with her as often as you can. It doesn't matter if you two are hanging out with friends or going on a date. Sit closer to her when you have some alone time with her while acting as though you were unaware of your proximity. You've been teasing her, so you need to move into her personal space to get that chemistry going. Play with her fingers while casually conversing, or subtly brush her arm with yours. Sidestep across her or walk by her, put your hands around her waist, and give her one last quick hug before you leave. Night texts. Texting a girl late at night when she has time on her hands and a ton of opportunities to get naughty is the best way to be naughty and intimate with her. Of course, you can always flirt with her during the day too, but with other people around to divert her, her chances of striking up a passionate conversation are slim. Keep in touch with her during the day, but save the flirtatious conversations for later in the evening. It's important to keep in mind that not all girls may be comfortable with late-night texting or intimate conversations. Make sure to respect boundaries and only engage in such conversations if she reciprocates your interest. Communication is key, so always ask for consent before taking things to the next level. Tension. She will have experienced sexual tension by this point every time you touch her, whether on purpose or not. You must now make her long for your touch. As you touch her, let your hand rest on her back or arms. This will create anticipation and desire for more physical contact with you. Additionally, pay attention to her body language and reactions to gauge what type of touch she enjoys the most. Get very close to her and speak softly in her ear when no one else is around. If she speaks softly and fidgets with her fingers, you can successfully develop sexual attraction, and she will become pliable in your hands. Date. The next step is to actually see her in person and make that physical connection. Tell her that you would like to meet her sometime or ask her out. Make an effort to arrange a date with all the details. Instead of going on casual dates, unless you are attempting to woo her or convince her to fall in love with you, make arrangements to meet up at your house or hers. At this point, you must decide whether you want a romantic relationship or friends with benefits. It's wonderful to hear that you both find each other attractive and are interested in dating. However, if you followed all of these instructions on how to seduce a woman to the letter, you've only really paid attention to your ability to attract women sexually. You've made it clear that you have a sexual interest in her, and she's aware of this. Small gestures. Even though it may not seem like much, little acts of affection will have her falling at your feet. Things like finding out her favorite chocolate or drink and bringing it to her the next time you see her. Let her know that you are thinking of her. Additionally, it demonstrates that you have been considering her preferences. These small gestures can also help to strengthen the emotional connection between you two and make her feel valued and appreciated. It shows that you are willing to put in the effort and pay attention to the little details that matter to her. Cooking. Cooking for a woman will make you seem more macho and seductive, especially on a first date. You'll get a chance to showcase your culinary prowess, and you'll be able to save money by eating in. An at-home meal is more intimate than takeout. Additionally, cooking for a woman allows you to personalize the meal to her preferences and dietary requirements, showing that you are attentive and caring. It also provides an opportunity for conversation and getting to know each other better while enjoying a delicious meal. Flowers. Yes, it's very cliché, but it's also very effective. There's no need to buy her a large bouquet, not even a store purchase is necessary. If you know where to find vibrant flowers, use them to show her how much you care. Just make sure they aren't poisonous, of course, and they don't need to be expensive either. Your local store can have a cute bunch for, say, £5 or $5 that will completely make her day. The selfie. Sending her a daily picture over Snapchat, Instagram, or even text will have her smiling at her phone all day. A selfie or a complex image like a bird's eye view of your street corner could serve as the image's basis. Whatever kind of picture you give her, she'll feel more connected to you after seeing it. The idea that you've taken time out of your day to think about her and send her a picture means a lot. It's a simple yet effective way to keep that spark alive or show your affection for someone you're interested in. Plus, it's a fun way to share your daily experiences with each other and keep the conversation going. The questions. Yes, this may seem obvious, but you would be surprised at how frequently women feel unappreciated. The smallest inquiries, such as, "What was the best part of your day?" or "Is there anything you want to talk about?" will make her feel more significant if you ask them. It is important to remember that showing appreciation is not a one-time thing but rather an ongoing effort. Consistently expressing gratitude and acknowledging her efforts will go a long way in making her feel valued and loved. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or something else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and share it later. Let's continue. 14 weird things girls do when they like you. Trying to figure out if she likes you or not. Maybe you've noticed some strange behaviors, but you're unsure what they mean. Well, we've got you covered. Here are a bunch of weird things that girls do when they like you, most of which she actually wants to keep a secret. Do you want to know more? Of course, you do. Like and subscribe. Have you ever been in a situation with a woman where you're hanging out, and the jokes and banter start to become a little more flirtatious than usual? This is because she has grown fond of you over the course of your friendship and wants you to know it without her having to express it directly. She's showing you more and more flirtatious references and compliments as she develops feelings for you. She's giving you these hints in the hopes that you'll pick them up, flirt with her in return, or maybe even ask her out on a date. Mr. and Mrs. She will compare the sound of her name and yours. Although it sounds very strange, girls absolutely do this. Consider the scenario in which your name is John Smith and her name is Sophie Turner. She will say, Sophie Smith, how does that sound? Sophie and John. John and Sophie. Sophie and John Smith. She will imagine those different scenarios of how it might sound. Kind of weird but very funny, don't you think? However, she does this because it somehow makes her feel closer to you. She seems to be imagining what it might be like if you were a couple or married. She'll also discuss this with her friends. And at this point, you might be wondering, what if I have a strange last name? Are any of you having that thought right now? Absolutely fine, she really doesn't give a damn about the name, to be honest. She is only interested in the fact that it is yours. Closer. A girl will gradually start to experiment with how she touches you once she decides she likes you and thinks you two have moved beyond the stage of friendship where you can relax a little and worry less about crossing boundaries. She will begin to move her seat a little closer to you so that your legs can touch. This may seem very basic, but for women, it's crucial that even the smallest details are taken into consideration. She will automatically reach for your arm when she laughs at something you say so she can touch your skin and feel those muscles. She will assess your response to each touch she makes to see if she is stepping outside of any potential boundaries. It's crucial to realize that every touch she gives you is intended to elicit a reciprocal action from you. Treats. Another strange thing that happens when a girl likes you is that she starts to consider whether you possess the qualities she values in a husband. I'm referring to your sense of style. Are you confident? Do you establish limits? Your kindness or your social skills? Are you enjoyable to be with? Do you possess strong morals? Now, she is searching for those qualities in a man who she wants to marry and who she wants to be the father of her children. She believes that these qualities are essential for a healthy and happy relationship and is willing to wait until she finds someone who possesses them. She understands that finding the right partner takes time but is patient and confident in her search. Questions. She will ask you more questions as she becomes more interested in you, either to learn more about you or to simply find out how your day is going. Perhaps it will begin with a, so, what's your favorite color, and eventually change to, how's your day going, or, what have you eaten today? Since women are inherently nurturing, it is a sign that they are interested in you and are waiting for you to initiate contact when they begin to inquire about your physical or mental health. Although getting asked a lot of questions can be very annoying, it is her way of getting in touch with you and letting you know she has feelings for you without making it uncomfortable. She may be harboring feelings and awaiting a date to advance from friend to girlfriend if the questions start to come up more frequently. Friends. When a girl likes you, she tells her friends everything about you, which is kind of weird, and I mean everything. They will therefore be aware of your personal hygiene products, speech patterns, place of birth, favorite foods, color preferences, yada yada. A girl talks about a guy a lot when she's interested. She becomes incredibly excited and experiences stomach aches. In addition, her friends will likely get a little tired of hearing about you. However, the truth is that she is having a great time thinking about you and talking about you. If you are unsure whether she likes you or not, this is a great oblique sign to look for. If you notice that her friends seem to know things about you that they have no business knowing, she probably told them. Jealousy. The majority of the women we spoke to said they don't actually feel jealousy as they get older, so this is for the select few who do. Some women have acknowledged feeling jealous when they are waiting for a guy to initiate contact or take the next step. Imagine meeting a guy and developing feelings for him as you get to know him more. Because you're hesitant to tell him, you decide to wait for him to ask you out. He hasn't asked you out despite your persistent waiting, and then you notice another girl expressing interest in him. The head of the green-eyed monster will appear. Take the hint that she is waiting for you to make the first move if a girl you are with starts to act jealous. The expressions a woman adopts when another female is mentioned tend to go towards the sour end of the spectrum, which is one of the most notable signs of jealousy. Download. It sounds a little funny to say out loud, but when she likes you, she will do some pretty weird things in secret. Not all women will act in this way, of course. Every woman varies a little, but a lot of women will act in this way. Because she wants to see you, she will download or screenshot your pictures to her phone or even screen record your stories. Even though it sounds a little absurd when spoken aloud, it's actually true. She will visit your social media accounts and comment, "Oh wow, that's a really nice picture," then screenshot it and download it. She might also take a screenshot if she's watching one of your Instagram stories and notices that you are really cute. She won't likely talk about this publicly until you start dating seriously. She's probably not going to make it the background of her phone, but don't be shocked if you learn later that she might or might not have photos of you on her phone. Other guys. If you don't move quickly enough, she escalates the situation to help you understand the urgency. She's trying to get your attention by making it seem like she's interested in another guy. Women know that men are naturally inclined to feel jealous of things they can't have, as they are natural predators and always want to have what they can't have. She hopes that by talking about other guys or flirting with them in front of you, it will prompt you to take that next step with her and push the other guy away. Posture. Look at the woman's posture if you are having a conversation with her. Are her knees facing you or away from you? Are her arms in her lap by her side or folded across her chest? Depending on who we are speaking to, what we are discussing, and how we are feeling, we unconsciously use specific parts of our body as a shield. A woman is likely engaged in the conversation and does not feel intimidated by you if her body language displays signs of comfort, like her knees pointed in your direction if the two of you are sitting down. Her openness to the topic of conversation is indicated if her arms are not crossed over her chest. The selfie. At first, she starts posting pictures of kittens, dogs, and nicely arranged meals. But as soon as you start talking, she starts posting more provocative and revealing images. This change in behavior may indicate that she is seeking attention or validation from others. It's important to communicate with her and understand her motives before making any assumptions or judgments. She hopes you will notice how hot and sassy she is and ask her out. She might be trying to make you a little bit jealous as well. Surging. Social media plays a huge part in everything we do nowadays, including aiding some women in their weird behaviors when they like you. She might look up every one of your ex-partners herself or ask a friend to do it for her. The friends might even come up to you and inquire about you. This kind of behavior can be invasive and a little bit uncomfortable. It's important to set boundaries and communicate clearly with the person if you are not comfortable with it. It's also important to remember that not all women exhibit this behavior, and it's not a healthy or respectful way to approach a potential partner. Yes then no. Suddenly, she will change. One day, everything's wonderful, she ignores you the next day. She's trying to tell you that she's tired of waiting or that she feels overly aggressive or available. Some women do this because they believe that playing a game keeps people on their toes. It's important to communicate with your partner and express your feelings openly. Playing games can create confusion and lead to misunderstandings, which can ultimately harm the relationship. It's best to be honest and direct with each other to build a strong foundation of trust and understanding. Looks. Perhaps she gives you a bigger smile and pays close attention to your personality and appearance. She might find herself obsessively pondering your hands or facial expressions. She might be trying to lock onto you as her eyes follow yours around the room. In other words, when you're not there, she might find herself viewing you entirely differently. Why else would she, after all? That indicates that someone finds you intriguing. She's not just unable to get enough of your energy either. She feels special when she sees you because of something else she notices about you. What does she perceive in you? Perhaps she notices your confidence. She might recognize your sense of humor.